Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. I'm having a little technical difficulties, but hopefully you can find me. Hi everybody. I'm having a little technical difficulties. Okay, I don't know. Let me know if you find me here. I was having trouble with StreamYard, so I'm not sure. Hey Mom, how's it look on here? Is it okay? I'm doing old school Facebook Live. So let me know if you're on here. Okay, you can see me? I'm okay? I don't see it on my computer yet. That's what's making me nervous. Hey, Vicky. Am I on Crafty Chemist or am I on my personal Okay, now I see it. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Hi, Dee. Who's excited? I'm really sad that I'm having these technical issues, and this is a thing I was so excited about. Okay, now I see it. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Hi, Dee. Okay, I'm going to try and share this to the group. Okay, I think I got it now. So I'm just going live on Facebook, not YouTube or Instagram. Actually, maybe I'll make a separate YouTube video for this. Yeah, I don't know. I was having difficulty. I had it all set up in StreamYard, ready to go. There was no go live button. So I couldn't go live at all. Maybe I'll So I don't know what the deal was for that. So I tried to reset it up again. It didn't have a go live button, and it wouldn't let me turn the to landscape position. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to go live on Facebook alone. Hey, Jean. Okay, so today we are making these gift boxes, everybody. I am so excited about these. I've been working diligently on these. So let me show you this one. This one holds a dairy milk bar. It will also hold a Hershey bar. Let me see. And such. I kind of redesigned it. This was my original. This is my draft. This is the one that I posted. It's actually in my on the Canva banner or whatever for the live. I made it a little bit bigger so it can fit the Cadbury bars because that's what I really wanted. And this one just fit the Hershey bars, so it was a little tight fit. So I updated it a little bit. And then I made a couple other to show you that it doesn't have to be Valentine's. So this gives you an idea about the Hershey bars, the size-wise. You can see it fits a Hershey bar really nicely. Yeah, Vicki, don't get too excited about the Dairy Milk chocolate bar because it is the U.S. version. So I know this tastes like wax paper, wax or whatever, but okay. So I made a couple other ones to show you that you can do them differently. I mean, I think the allure to me is the chocolate bar, but you can easily make it other designs if you wanted to make this for, birthday or whatever. So here's a Kit Kat. It does fit a Kit Kat. What's wide enough for a Kit Kat? It actually can kind of fit 2 Kit Kats. I had the chocolate all tied up in this bag so Darcy doesn't eat it. After the last episode, I'm like so scared to have chocolate in my craft room because of that. My dog got into my chocolate that I had in my craft bag. See, so I mean, it does fit 2 Kit Kats. And it does close pretty much, so just to give you an idea about the size. Okay? Okay, so let me get started. First of all, I do have a blog directions. I've worked all afternoon creating these new samples and making the blog. Okay, there you go. I did the blog post. So, truthfully, this really uses very little materials. You can almost get away with one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. If you want to make it 2 layers, like I do have, this is 2 layers to make it stand up a little bit. You need about 2 inches more. 2 inches more, so you into the second sheet. Okay. Now, this one I did use mocha paper from Close to My Heart because I only had 2 sheets of the early espresso left in my stash. So just FYI, and you can kind of compare the colors. This is mocha. This is espresso. So that they both work. But I will tell you, I think that the Stampin' Up! Paper is a better choice to make these because it's not white core. Okay. The Close to My Heart paper is white core, and you can kind of see, can you see right here? You can kind of see the white here. So I think the solid core is a little bit better, but you can kind of get rid of that by using ink and the dauber. Okay, so I will show you how to make the general box first, and then I'll show you how to decorate it like I did to make the chocolate bar. And then I will have an aside about how you can just make these. Right, it's the same box. I just decorated the top differently. Okay, so you can definitely make other paper. So whatever paper you have, you can make this box. It's a great, just general box design. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. The first thing you need. Oh, let me give you just one quick history because that's why I have this here. A consultant on the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Facebook page posted a card like this. And I really, really loved it. And I made this card. I made this card back in November. And I think I posted it maybe, I think I waited till January, but so I made this card back in November. And that was kind of it. And then come February, I usually like to make some kind of treat box or something for Valentine's Day. And I was kind of scrolling through Pinterest, scrolling. I didn't find anything that really I loved. And then I thought, you know what? I could make this into a treat box. So that's how I kind of went down the road of making this as a treat box. This card that a consultant posted, she did post directions on that post, you know, on the measurements. So I just kind of took it from there and created this box. Okay? So let's get started with this. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 9.5 by 7.5. Okay? And if you're making it to look like a chocolate bar, you're going to want to use the espresso cardstock. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to cut it portrait first, 7.5. And then 9.5. Okay, now you can pretty much get most of the pieces that you will need for the bars out of this. This will give you one layer of the squares. I did 2 layers. It's just popped up ever so slightly to give it a little bit of dimension. So that you'll need a little bit extra, okay? I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. And then here is how you are going to score it. Again, I have the directions on my blog. I haven't made a little template like this in a while, and I thought this is the perfect time to do it. Is anyone crafting along with me today? So I know if I need to go slower or faster or anything. Okay, the first thing we want to do is put our cardstock in our scoreboard landscape. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Let's see. And what we're going to do is score at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch from each end. Okay, good. 1/2 inch and 1 inch from each end. Okay, in the landscape position. So I'm going to do 1/2 inch and 1 inch. You tell me if I need to slow down at all, Julie. And then 1/2 inch, which would be 9 on this side, and then 8.5. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it so that it's in the portrait. And this one, we're going to score at a 1/2. Okay, good, D. A 1/2. 3.5. 4 inches. And 7. So I'll put this up here. So it's a 1/2 from the edge. This is in the portrait. This is in the portrait. A 1/2 inch, 3.5, 4, and then 7. And so this is going to leave this part in the middle, which is basically right the size of your box. So this is an FYI. If you want to change the dimension of the box, for instance, if you think this box is too big just for one Hershey bar, you can make it a little bit smaller, right? You just would cut your paper differently, and then instead of having this be, let's see, 7.5 inches, tall, just, you know, move this to be whatever dimensions you want. So this box idea, this is a really general box idea that you can make whatever size that you want. Okay, just use this sort of as a guide. Make it like this maybe first, and then if you want, you know, start switching it up. Okay? Okay, so now we are kind of ready to make the box. So what we want to do is now cut it into a shape like this. Okay, so just to kind of give you the guidance on here. So the first thing we're going to do is, and I wish you could see the score marks on here better, but in this first 1/2 inch, I'm going to cut through both, past the 1/2 inch score and then the 1 inch score. Here, I'm going to do the same thing. 1/2 inch score, 1 inch score, 1/2 inch score, and 1 inch score. Okay, so that's like down here. And then what I'm going to do is cut this, just the very bottom corner off. And then this is going to be my tab. Okay, and then the center piece here, I'm going to cut off the top 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we've got our 2 tabs. And then actually I'm going to remove all of this right along the score line. So I'm going to cut down right along that 1 inch score line. Okay, so see, now we've got this piece matches, and now we just have to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, let's try it again. Cut down past both score marks on here. Here I'm going to cut down past both score marks. Here, past both score marks. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off. It's actually hard. Sometimes if you bend the score line, it's easier to see. 1/2 inch. This one, 1/2 inch. Okay, so again, we've got our tab. So this is going to be like the top of the box and the bottom of the box. And then we're going to remove all of this. Again, it's the whole 1 inch here, down to that center tab. And you can use your trimmer if you want. I'm better if I just cut it. Okay, so does that make sense, or do I need to? Do I need to go over that again? It's easier to see here, I think, with the light. Okay, so this is the basic shape for the box. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to go down each of the score lines and burnish it a little bit so it makes it easier to fold into the box. So I'm just folding along each of the score lines. And basically you're folding in a, I guess, a mountain fold for each one, right? Those are mountain folds, right? And this is why I think using the Stampin' Up! Solid core paper is really useful, because then you don't get that white, showing through. But this one was made with solid, with white core paper, so it's possible. Okay? And then don't forget to score these end pieces. So that they fold better. Okay, we're almost got the box shape. Okay. Now, another thing I did to make making the box easier is I sort of trimmed the corners of these tabs. So these little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch tabs, I just kind of took the corners off like that. I didn't show it on here, but let me show it on the pink. It might be easier to see on the pink, right? I just kind of took the very corners out. It makes it, these pieces fit together much easier. You don't absolutely need to do it, but you'll find that when you go to try and shut the box, that the pieces, there's like kind of like not enough room for the pieces to go. So let me get this pink out of here. So I recommend doing that. Okay. So I did it on all of these little 1/2 inch tabs. So let's do that. That's the last one here. Okay. And then I also did it on just this the very top piece here. Okay, don't go into the second 1/2 inch, just the first 1/2 inch. So just right here. Okay, and then on the other side too. This makes making the box a lot easier. Okay? Okay, so now we're just going to fold the box up. So you can see how this part's going to be like the top edge. This one's going to be the bottom edge. Okay, see how easy that was to make a box? Okay, but I'm going to undo it, but I wanted to show you how the box is going to go. I'm going to add adhesive right here. You can use tear and tape. You can use, whatever you want. I'm going to use my ATG because I find that that's very sticky. Okay. I'd use tear and tape, but the tear and tape I have is a 1/2 inch. And it was a little bit, you would think it would be enough. It would be the right size, but I mean, it might be 3/4 inch tear and tape. I don't know, because it was too wide. Okay, so now let's make this go back. The only thing that you might want to think about is, so the front, you see how the front of my box, how this is folding back? Whatever side you're folding back, you want, when you decide which flap to put in the, in the front to put adhesive on, you want the front of the box to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Smooth. You don't want the edge. Like I want this to be folded over, so I want the raw edge of this thing towards the back. Okay, so that's why I decided to put the adhesive on this piece. Okay, and then squeeze it together, and okay. So you see, this is the sort of what I would say is the top of the box because of how this tab opens up. So I want that seam to be along the bottom. I don't know if you can tell, but I didn't do that on this one. Can you see here how I've got the seam? I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but see the seam right there? I don't like it that way. I mean, it's obviously, you can't really tell, and no one but you is gonna tell, but you know, if you think about it ahead of time, that's what I would recommend. Okay? So you got it? Nice little box. Okay. So at this point, if you're not going to do a chocolate box, if you're going to do something like this, what you're going to do is, this piece of Designer Series paper is 7 1/4 by 2 3/4. So you can just put a piece of Designer Series paper on the top and then decorate it like I did here. Or like I did here. Okay? But the idea for today is to show you like this, but I want you just to keep in mind that you can use it for the rest of the year too. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm actually going to put this, I'm going to put the chocolate bar inside. I'll tell you why. It makes doing this next part easier because it's not as flexible. I'm just going to do it so it's a little bit better viewing. Okay. So we're going to cut these little squares. And again, if you look at my blog post that I posted, we need 21 pieces because this is 3 across and 7 down. Again, if you want to try and get all of your pieces out of just your leftover, you really only need, maybe 5 rows, 3 across, so 15 pieces. I do have the squares underneath here. I did that because I think it makes it the same height, right? You don't want it to like sag down at the bottom, but so we're cutting 21 pieces. Okay. And so we need 21 pieces that are 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So let's cut that. I'm going to put these here. So I'm taking the leftover strip that I had and making this 3/4. And this is just to give it a little bit of height and depth. You can, if you are, if you're in a time crunch or if you don't want to be as obsessive about it, you can just do these 24 pieces. If you're just going to do one layer, then you want to cut your pieces, I would say the 7/8, the bigger size. These pieces are the ones that are going underneath the 7/8 inch squares. You don't see these. These are sort of hidden. Okay. So this is just to kind of make it pop up. And I'm not using dimensionals here. So it's kind of like, I know some of you talked about, instead of using foam tape, people use like spare white cardstock to kind of pop things up. That's kind of what this is like. We're using these little squares to pop up the other squares. Let me see how many I have. I was talking, so I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I only got 12. From my sample, from doing this one, I was able to get 20 squares out of the, the scraps. Which to me is enough to do this. I would just leave like maybe one of the squares that are covered out. I think it was 16, 17. I thought about cutting these ahead of time, but I kind of wanted you to see this, because there's really not too much to this box other than this cutting and making the box, so I didn't think it would take too long. Although I didn't anticipate my StreamYard making me start late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I need 2 more. I think. It should be 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 21. So, okay, these are the 3/4 inch pieces. So I'm going to stack these up and put them to the side. And the good thing about the Stampin' Up! Paper, it's the same color on all sides, so you don't have to be very particular about which way you put them. I still have a little bit left. Okay, so now I want to do, I'm using a new sheet of espresso, and I'm cutting this one at 7/8 of an inch. And let me remind you where 7/8 of an inch is, since I'm a teacher. These medium-sized lines are all 1/8, so 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. Wait, well, you can't see. Let me start here. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. So obviously a half is 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. So it's like the first medium line from the whole number, or the second total line from that. So I'm going to cut this at 7/8. And you can get this with 2 strips. I think that from what my sample, I did 2 strips, and that was enough. Okay, so this is all you need sort of extra besides your 8.5 by 11 for the box. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut these into 7/8 going this way. And we need 21 of these. Okay, so those of you who are crafting along, I don't think I cut that one correctly. Are you making the chocolate, or are you doing a different design? I think this one I cut too, yeah, this one I cut too short. I was cutting at the 3/4 of an inch. So 7/8, both directions. And that might pop me into the next piece. I don't know. We'll see. You're making the chocolate. Yay. Okay, good. Good. I mean, because that's why I designed this, was for the chocolate. But I just wanted to show you that it is possible to use this for other boxes. And it doesn't have to be, if you make the non-chocolate design, it doesn't have to be candy. You could probably put, I don't know, that looks like it might fit like an iWatch box or something. Something like that, or whatever will fit into that. But like I said, now that you have the basic idea of how to make a box, I think you could really come up with whatever shape that you want. I mean, we are restricted a little bit on the size by, you know, if you're using 8.5 by 11, it needs to fit. That can't be super big. You can go to the 12 by 12 paper. Okay, how many pieces do I have? I wasn't counting. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now these are the bigger pieces, so there's 7/8. Okay. Okay, I need one more. Let's cut one more strip of these. 7/8. I forget what I just said, if that was 16 or 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't know, 16, 17. Okay, 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. Okay. Has anybody seen the viral Dubai chocolate bars with the pistachio cream inside of them? I bought one for Michaela and Anthony for Valentine's Day. Anyway, this kind of reminds me of those. And if you haven't seen them, you should look. And they are decorated at the top. They're decorated at the top with this green and yellow chocolate drizzle. And I really wanted to try and figure out how to make the chocolate drizzle for the top. Paint or something would be fine, but I was trying to figure out I thought about markers, but I don't think the markers would show up on this. But anyway, search the viral Dubai chocolate bars and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, now this is what I recommend for the next step. This part you can maybe skip if you want to. But I used a little T-square and a pencil. If you haven't already adhered your box together, you could also kind of do some simple score marks. But you can score this. I'm doing this just so that my things are even. You know, my square. See, look how nice and even these are. Okay, so I'm drawing 1 inch because the box is 3 inches across the opening. Yeah, I made my Valentine's too, but these are kind of more treat boxes. I thought maybe the grandkids could give their teachers something in these. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can show it on here. Waiting till it's a little bit behind. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, you can kind of see the lines there. Okay, so that's the 3 columns. And then I'm going to do it for the 3 rows. But when you do the first one, I would, well, you could start you could start at the end. You're going to be left with about a 1/4 inch at the edge from one of the ends, okay? Because this is, let me see, this is about, so it's 7.5. So technically, if you start like a 1/4 inch from each end, that would be, it would make it centered, but you don't see the bottom here, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I am starting a little bit down. So you can mark this if you want the top part. And then we're going to make 9 or 7 columns. And you don't really see this once you get these things on here. I don't think you can see that I made marks on here. And again, this is only if you want to. This step is optional. If you feel like you can do this and keep it straight without making the boxes, I found it very helpful to have these boxes so that I could center my squares. And one thing I didn't pay attention to, which I should have, is, okay, good. If you're going to mark it, you want to mark it to make sure you're doing it on the top. So remember that seam that we made, you want the seam to be going down. Okay, so I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay, and then this one should be about a 1/4 inch from the end or so. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to take the smaller pieces. Okay, the smaller pieces. Put this way. Again, the smaller ones. Hi, Diana. So take the smaller pieces because that's what's going to be propping up the bigger ones. You're not going to see these. Okay, and I am going to use my multi-purpose glue. Okay, if you are using Close to My Heart paper that's two-toned, you want to, I think you would want to make sure it's all the same color. I guess if you have, you know, kind of a two-toned, it wouldn't be, maybe it would be kind of realistic, but maybe not. Okay, so taking the small one, and then I'm just going to kind of center it in this box that I just made. And just go down and do that. I'm not using a whole huge amount of glue because I don't want it to squirt everywhere. Okay. And the thing about the multi-purpose glue is that it does give you a little bit of time to adjust these to be, you know, lined up. Can you guys hear Darcy snoring? He's in the corner of my room. Okay, when you get it how you like, move on to the next row. Ooh. Don't drop it on there. You don't want to do that. Although it's good that's down there because it's going to be covered with the candy wrapper that I made. These are the smaller ones. You want to use the smaller pieces. Again, because we're just bumping it up. We're not going to see these. I know it doesn't seem right, but although I don't think let me look at my card. I want to show you on my card. And keep kind of pushing these down so that it stays where you want it to be. On my card, I do have 3 layers on my card. So can you see that it looks like there's a medium layer and then the bigger layer. And then underneath it, you can't see, is a smaller one even. So this one is 3 layers. But for the box, I just went with 2 layers. For one thing, these squares are a lot closer together. If you notice in here, there's a more space between. More space between the squares. Here, there's not that much space, so I didn't want to overwhelm it with a lot of layers. Now, this bottom layer, it doesn't really matter too much if it's super perfect because they are going to be covered up. The one thing you don't want is, you don't want it to be really out of whack. Like, you want to make sure that it's within the squares that you made. At least you want to make sure that the bigger piece is going to cover it up, whatever you do. Okay, we're almost there. Now I'm getting to the point where I've got one more row. If you're not going to do the pieces that are underneath the wrapper, technically you could stop at row 5. But the reason I don't think you should is because, you know, this is going to be 2 layers of cardstock on top of your box, and I think your wrapper will sag. Okay. Again, there's 21 of these squares, and these squares were 3/4 of an inch. It does look good even with, you know, 1 layer, but not as good as it does with 2. Okay, so now I'm going to try and cover that little spot here where the glue fell. Oh, geez. I feel like I'm on the there. I was gonna say, I think I was 1 short, but I'm not. Three more. And this glue dries fairly quickly. Like, we can move on to the next one, but it leaves enough time for you to wiggle. Hey, Mom? 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 Can you, oh, sorry, that's okay. I have hot water and I didn't get a chance to, can you just pour it in? Okay, 2 more. And remember, down at the bottom here, I have a little bit, I have about a 1/4 of an inch extra from the bottom. Okay, so you want to make sure these are pushed down, make sure I don't know if you can see if some of them are popping up, just make sure it's pushed down. And they're all centered how I like. So that's not too bad, right? Okay, now we're going to put on the bigger pieces. The bigger pieces are 7/8. Before you put these on, if you are using white core cardstock like I did, and I didn't want the white to show, I did ink up the edges. I'm not going to do this, but if you want to, or even if you're not using white core, if you just want to give a little bit more depth, you can take the ink and go around the edges of each of these. I'm not going to take the time to do it right now while I'm live. But, you know, if you can see here, hopefully you can see where I did ink up the edges. It does give it a little bit even more depth, but it's not 100% necessary. I did not ink up the edges on this one, and you can see the white core a little bit on this one. Okay, so let's do these ones. These are the 7/8 inch squares. Okay, these ones are the ones you're going to want to be a little more careful in making sure that they are even. When you put them on. I think this espresso looks a little more like a dark chocolate. And I think that my close to my heart mocha looks a little bit more like milk chocolate. Hi Susan, welcome. We're making chocolate bar gift boxes. Okay, and there's 21 of these pieces that are 7/8 inch. How are you guys who are crafting along doing? Am I going too fast, too slow? Let's see, are they even? Let me know if you think I'm off a little bit. It's a little bit hard for me to tell because the camera is like right in basically in my field of vision. It's a little bit hard to do this with the camera in your face. But I am using these lines that you can barely see that I drew on there to help guide me. Okay, good. Just right. Oh, because I'm not going slow. This is how long it takes me. I'm slow, but that's because I'm like, you know, I'm OCD. I'm a chemist, so I've got to have it, you know, as lined up as I can. And if you think that these are too close together, you can make them a little bit smaller if you want. I thought 3/4 and 7/8 was good, and I didn't want to start getting into like 16ths or anything like that, because I know people don't really like to deal with that. On this card, I used mocha paper, but then I used espresso ink around the edges. I didn't use mocha ink around the edges. I used espresso. around the edges to get it a little bit of a darker look. All right, I'm almost down there here. I'm in love with these things. And I'll tell you, the lady at Walgreens was really, really impressed with my original box. And I think I've improved even since my original box. Because I brought that to Walgreens to test out various chocolates to see what would fit and what would not fit. And we got to talking about it. She said that I was very crafty. And I didn't want to tell her, I should have, that I was a crafty chemist. So if I was a better salesperson, I probably would have used it as a sales opportunity. But I'm not good at, like, you know, talking to the Walgreens lady about buying stuff from Stampin' Up. You guys know I do this because I love to scrapbook and card make and craft. I'm not really in this as a business because, well, right now I've got a full-time job, so it'd be nice if I could do this, move to England, make all my money from crafting. That would be good. And Stampin' Up is in England. I am crafty. Well, she liked it. Because she was like, I didn't want her to think that it was like chocolate or something that I was stealing. I was like, I brought this in with me to test out chocolate bars because I didn't want her to like charge me for it or think I was stealing. That's more what I was thinking. Like, she's gonna think I'm stealing this box. Like, Hallmark made this. Hey, maybe I can license my idea to Hallmark. Okay, there we go. Guys, we did it. We got all of our pieces down. Okay. So I think we're good. We can let that dry a little bit. And then let's move on to the wrapper. So what this is supposed to be like, it's like you tore the wrapper off of your candy bar. Okay. And again, no one's heard of the viral Dubai chocolate bar. Come on, you guys, tell me you've heard of this. It's chocolate with a pistachio cream inside. Anyway, like I said, I sent it to Michaela and Anthony for Valentine's Day because I knew they would appreciate it. Anthony loves pistachio cream. So that's why I thought they'd like it. Anyway, it came with a nice wrapper, and then it was like gold foiled, right? It was like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. And I think that this paper from, this is the Marbled Excellence paper. See how it's got that gold foil? I think it makes a really nice wrapper. So, I've got some of this. This one I made with the, I don't know, it's kind of like this pink design. I don't really have enough of that particular one. You need, oh, Naomi bought one? Oh, good, Naomi. Thank you. How did she like it? Megan sent me a picture today. She said, I found the viral Dubai chocolate bars. And I think she was in Costco because it looked like maybe a Costco shelf. Anyway, my point is that I think that this is really good. It looks like a nice fancy wrapper with the gold. Naomi thought it was good. So I don't know. Did she get it at Costco? Because I know she goes to Costco, right? I don't have a Costco membership. I have Sam's Club membership. Because there's no Costco really, close to me. I don't know where Megan went to Costco because she's not that far from me. Anyway, Michaela sent me a recipe for a Dubai chocolate bar cheesecake. So I think I'm going to make that for Easter. If my mom lets me. So I might actually try it beforehand just to test it out. But you can buy the stuff. You can buy the pistachio cream. Obviously, you can buy pistachios and then chocolate. So, okay. So, we're going to cut this piece 4 inches by 8.5. Oh, she bought it online. Okay, I bought Michaela's online too. But she got only one chocolate bar. So, okay, so I did this. This is 4 inches. This one, obviously, it's shorter. So this is short. This was like 2 inches. Okay, this one is 4 inches. So I'm gonna cut it 4 inches. Put this over here to dry. 4 inches by about 8.5. And if you cut it 8.5, it overlaps. It overlaps about 1 inch. So anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5. I'd go towards the 8.5. So that's 4 inches by 8.5. And that should give you plenty to wrap and everything. Okay, now, then I just ripped this. I just kind of ripped a little bit off. And if you rip towards you is when you get the white showing. I'm ripping maybe, I don't know, 1/4 inch, something like that. Of course, when I do it online, I get all these little points. Okay. And so, this is about 3 inches in the center. So here's another improvement that I made. Here's my original one, and I just kind of wrapped it around. But you can see that it's kind of, it looks, I don't want to say messy, but whatever. Here, I actually did some score lines. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to put it like this. So I want the 3 inches. This is 8.5. So the center is 4 1/4. So I want it to be about, let's see, 3 1/4 is 1. So at about 2 3/4, I'm going to score it. And then 1, 2, 3, and about 5 3/4. I'm going to score it. That's going to be across the front. And then that helps it, wrap around better. I found that I got better adhesion to the bar from there. Okay, let's see how this fits on here before I mark the next one. Remember, these are still maybe wet, so be careful. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, and then the sides are about half an inch. So I'm going to mark this about a half inch to the other side. So 6 1/4 and 2 1/4. Again, you can just wrap it and see how it does. I found that doing the score marks helps it stay closer to the bar. And those measurements that I gave you are not important, really. The main thing is that you want to make it about 3 inches somewhere in the center. Okay? That's all that matters. Okay, let's wrap this around and see how it's doing. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, see how nice that is? And see how this kind of sticks closer to the bar. Okay, and all we have to do is put adhesive on this. And again, I'm going to use my ATG because it's a fairly good stickiness. It will. And you guys know me, but I am going to ink it up not ink it up, but adhere it up pretty good. And I'll tell you why. This is bumpy, right? It's got different layers. And so you want to make sure that it's actually sort of adhering to a layer. However, the most important part I find is get that this 1/2 inch section, right, that we just scored. Make sure you get that so it sticks to the side really well. And then the edges. Okay? And now I'm just going to wrap this. I would look at which side, like which top or the bottom looks the best to you. Because right now, it's, anything could be the top, anything could be the bottom. This is where that little piece, or that little glue fell down. So I'm going to make sure I make that be the bottom so that it's covered up. And I put it right up against the bottom of the box. Okay. So I'm kind of lining it up. This is where you want to make sure at least you have some adhesive. And then on this side, you want to make sure that you have some adhesive. And then the back, you want it to kind of meet, okay? You don't want it to be very different in height. Like this one, this side's a little bit higher than this side. But here you can't really tell. Okay? So it's like it's a wrapper and somebody like ripped off part of the wrapper. Okay? Okay, and then lastly we're going to decorate it. And I used a stamp set that went with this, and the dies. And I really liked this fancy die on the Flirty Flamingo, because you see how it's got the like embroidery almost. And then this one, it's got a little bit of a design to the edge. I'm going to do the gold in that one. Okay. So the big heart is Flirty Flamingo. Let me get my little Stampin' Up stamp, whatever, what is this called? Stamp and emboss machine. Okay. And I've got the Flirty Flamingo. Now, if you used, now like if you use the more red paper from this paper pack, you could use like real red or, you know, whatever. That would be very striking. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's pop these out. Oh, look how pretty that is. Can you see all the design on that? Okay, and then I'm going to use the gold foil. Did you know that we have gold foil sheets? Gold foil sheets. It's 132622. Actually, I have a resource page with these, so I'll post that here in a minute. Let's see if this piece is big enough for this small heart. Wait, I need this down here. Okay, I think that's gonna fit. It just fits. As long as it doesn't move. But you can decorate this however you want. Let's pop this out a little bit. Look how beautiful that is. It's got the little edging around it. Okay. Let me put the dies back so I don't lose them. And then we're just going to stamp a sentiment. It's from the same stamp set. It's Happy Valentine's Day. So I have a little piece of basic white. And I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black. And now on my sample, I fussy cut around the words. And really the reason I did that is because the first time, there wasn't a whole lot of room. There wasn't a whole lot of room on here to, you know, to make like a shape. So, and then I kind of like that. So I might do it fast because we're getting, past I try to be an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Although I did start a little bit late because of StreamYard was acting up. If you're using a different sentiment, yeah, you can cut around that. You can cut a shape out, whatever you want. This is really flexible in what you are doing. Although I would use a pretty paper to wrap it, like it's a fancy piece of, Belgian chocolate or something like that. Or Willy Wonka. You probably could make this look like a Wonka bar. If someone makes a Wonka bar, post that. Okay. Now let's just adhere these things on here. And I put it like this, and then the Happy Valentine's Day down here. This one you can, I actually tore it a little bit higher, so I have a little bit more room here. I could have probably, on this one I probably could have done a shape. So I'm just going to adhere it down with adhesive. You could use your glue if you want. I'm going to put this here. Let's glue down the gold foil. Nice. And then Happy Valentine's Day. I did not pop anything up on dimensionals, but you could. Okay, and I am putting this so that it overlaps a little bit so it looks like it's a grouping. Okay, there we go. There is the box. Here is a smaller one. Okay, if you like the smaller box better, and if you were thinking about making this, you really could use the same directions from my blog, but let me see if I can get this piece out again here. Okay, but instead of doing the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch along the portrait or the landscape side, if you turn it this way and do it like this, and then do the 1 inch, 3.5, 4 inch, and 7 inches this way. That's how I did this one. But you end up cutting like the last part of this off, because this is 9.5, and you want it to be 7.5. So you're going to cut off kind of 2 inches. But if you like this size better, you can do that. Just turn the orientation of the paper when you do the scoring differently. And this does fit a Hershey bar. It just fits the Hershey bar. That's why, see? So it fits the Hershey bar. Okay. Let me see. I'll put the Kit Kat in this one, and then all my candy's gone. Okay. So this is the one we made today. So let me drop the resource page for these, of all the products I used for this. Okay, so that's a link to all of the products that I used. You know that you can go to thecraftychemist.stampinup.net to purchase any of these things. I used the Marbled Excellence paper, and that is 164919. And I used the gold foil sheets. This was 132622. And I used Early Espresso cardstock. That's in the I think that's in the neutrals pack. Let me see. Or you can get a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet. Yeah, it's in the neutrals. It's in the neutrals pack. And then I used the Hearts of Elegance bundle. It's a stamp set and the dies, and that is 164909. And then for this one, I used the Citrus Blooms. I use this paper pack. I love this paper pack. It is 163284. And this is actually cut from here. You can see it's cut from the paper. And then the Happy Birthday one this is the new paper, and this one is kind of like this here, the Marbled Excellence. Do you see how it's gold foiled? I mean, look at the paper is gold foiled. I also put a gold foil circle behind that. And then this is from the ephemera packs. Both of these are from the ephemera packs. So this is the Wildflower birthday paper, 164591. This is in the new catalog. And then the two I used, the title was from here. This is the Greetings for All Mix and Match ephemera. And I did go, I went around it with a metallic marker. And then the cake, this cake here is from Birthday Treats Mix and Match ephemera. This is in the new catalog too. Okay. I did want to tell you before I hop off that February 4th, so on Tuesday, they are releasing some new celebration items. So, you know, celebration is going on till the end of February, and everything in this catalog you can get, well, you choose one. You choose something from this catalog for every $60 in products that you purchase. On February 4th, they're going to have new items that you can get for free with a $60 purchase. But it's my understanding, and again, this is my first celebration, so I'm not 100% sure, but from what they're saying is the items are already released, so they're not new actual items, but they're new to be included as free gifts. So I think some of the things from the catalog, you know, might be free gifts. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying something like, you know, maybe they'll add these packs or something as, you know, as a free gift. This is just an example, right? Like, this is free with a $60 purchase or whatever. So, that's my understanding. So February 4th, there will be new items that will be free with a $60 purchase. And also they'll be releasing 2 new kits. And the kits are gorgeous. They really are card kits. They're really gorgeous. One of them might be good to take on the road when we go to England to do a live. Although, you know, it's in February, there might be something better before June. So I don't know, but I'm thinking one of them might be good to do on the road. It's so pretty, and it's so, I would say universal. Like, it's got a lot of different, I think it's got sentiments from everything you need, like, you know, get well, birthday, I don't know, all those sorts of things. Okay, so keep an eye out on Tuesday. And if you were thinking of making a purchase, you know, in February or whatever, your February order, you might want to wait till Tuesday. Maybe would be my suggestion, because new things are coming out. Well, again, not new things are coming out. There will be new items added to the free with a $60 purchase thing. And the become a demonstrator special is still going on. And with that, you get 2 marker packs. You get these 2 marker packs, and this as a free gift. It's a stamp set that's exclusive to people who sign up during celebration. Plus, you get $125 of products for $99. Or you can choose, instead of getting this stuff, if say you already got the markers, you can get an additional $30 in free product. So that's $155 for $99. So even if you don't want to become a consultant, you get a lot of free stuff. And then you get a discount for, at the minimum, 3 months. And actually, if you join in February, you won't have to make your minimums until February, March, April, until June. You won't have to make your minimums until June. So you get 6 months or 5 months of discounts. Okay, any questions about this? I love, love, love this. if you made one, if you crafted along, please post it in the group. Oh, and I forgot. I hope Diana's still on. I wanted to select a share win or a sketch challenge winner. Glad I remembered. Every week I post a sketch, and if you make, if you make a sample using that sketch and you post it in the comments of that blog, I'll put you on the wheel and I'll send you a gift. So let's see who wins for January. I was a little bit, January, it ended, Saturday? It was yesterday the 1st, so Friday. So this is the January winner. So let's see who it is. Thanks everybody for participating. Diana. Oh, good. Diana, you won. You won. I know you were on the thing, and Danielle and Don. Thank you, guys. So, next week, it is a scrapbook layout. It'll be on Tuesday. The new sketch will be on Tuesday. Okay, Diana, a gift will be coming your way. Thanks for participating. Okay, if that's it, I'm going to go. I'm going to go walk Darcy and then chill a little bit because I've been working all afternoon. I made these samples. I made the blog post and so on. Okay? Oh, and next week, I didn't tell you what we're doing next week. Next week, we're making this scrapbook layout. And again, it's a great layout for any paper pack, right? This is a nice universal design. So that's his next week. And then while I'm telling you, I wanted to tell you about next Sunday. I have a YouTube drop as part of the a YouTube hop. I made this card, and I'll watch this card. So keep an eye out for it. When you open this card up, you put it in the envelope. When you open it up, see how it spins? Let's wind it up. Gonna wind it up. You put it in an envelope. Wait, I have an envelope here. For an envelope here, let's see. You put it in the envelope for the person. Wind it up, put it in the envelope. And then when they pull it out and open it up, it spins. So this is on my YouTube next week on Sunday. So it's going to drop Sunday at 2 Central. So keep an eye out for that. Okay? Okay. If there's no more questions, I'm going to head out. Thanks for joining. Sorry about the technical issue at the beginning. Something's wrong with StreamYard. I don't know what it is. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye.